Hello, I'm Jackie McLaughlin. You're very welcome. Today I'm going to share with you a few tips about relieving stress and increasing your well-being. You might have seen this at the Dublin Mind Body experience in November 2020. If you missed it, here's the information. So, stress. We all have stress in our lives on a daily basis when things are challenging or when things don't go our way. Also, we can have increased stress during challenging times, such as during a global pandemic like we have in 2020, and when you're dealing with financial difficulties, health concerns, changes in the things we can do, relationships, and everything. And it's changed how we can interact with people. Or you can have stress when you're doing something unusual, like making a presentation or going for an interview. When our stress persists, it can negatively affect our health. This graphic here from the Mental Health Ireland Association shows some of the effects of stress. We have body, mind, emotions, and behavior, and all these things are affected by stress. They impact our body and our very beings in a very holistic way. Fortunately, we have holistic ways of improving our condition and reducing our stress, like Jin Shin Jyutsu. The practice of Jin Shin Jyutsu helps us to improve our health and harmonize our energy. This is a complementary modality that you do on top of everything else that you would do. And it's simple, easy techniques. So be sure to continue seeing your GP or your consultant, taking any medications that you're having, and doing things that are basically good for our health, like getting exercise, having a healthy diet, drinking water, getting rest, all those things. And this brochure from Mental Health Ireland offers loads of great tips. So I'd recommend that you go ahead and have a look at it. But for the moment, I'm looking at Jin Shin Jyutsu, and I'm going to offer you 5 quick tips that can help to reduce your stress and increase your well-being. And these are things you can do yourself at home or when you're out and about. So the first tip is how to help energy to descend the body, how to release tension in your body. In Jin Shin Jyutsu, the energetic flow, the main energetic flow in the body goes down the front and up the back. And this is similar to other Eastern philosophies and practices such as Tai Chi. I don't do Tai Chi, but I was talking to someone who does, and they were telling me, yeah, it's just the same. It works on the same principles and everything. So when we want to have energy descend, this might be when we have headaches or tension in our chest or digestive concerns, or if our shoulders are very tense. We might need to reduce the tension and to have the energy flow down. So to do this, you put one hand on your shoulder like this, and the other hand on your bum or your sit bones, and just hold that. You don't have to press. You don't have to rub. Just relax. And breathe. So this will help the energy descend and help you to feel calmer, and you can be more present and more grounded. And you can do it on one side as well as the other side of the body, or if you're pressed for time and you're only tense on one side, just do whichever side is needing that attention, that extra gentle touch. So that is tip 1. Tip 2, Tip 2 is about helping the energy to ascend the back. And with that tip, again, put your hand on your shoulder and your other hand, put it at the top of your thigh in the front, just where it meets the hip in the groin area. And when you're doing this, this helps the energy to ascend. This will help with all back issues, help with circulation, and help to revitalize your being. And again, do one side and then do the other, or just do whichever feels better. Both of these tips use the shoulders, which are the 11s in Jin Shin Jyutsu and unburdening. The position on your sit bones is the 25, and that's quietly regenerating. While the position on the front of your leg at the groin, 15, is wash our hearts with laughter to experience joy. So that's tips 1 and 2. The third tip has to do with our hands. And we have 5 fingers and a palm on each hand. So there are things that relate to this, very much like with reflexology, that you can help your whole being with your foot or your hand. So today we're going to talk about the hands, and each part of your hand relates to a specific emotion, or when our emotions persist and stay around for a long time, we have possibly an attitude that doesn't serve us. So for the attitude of worry, hold your thumb. You don't have to hold it tightly, just gently, and you don't have to massage. You can hold it like this, or you can hold it like this, or however you want to, whatever feels right. I'm holding my hand up just for illustrative purposes. You can rest it in your lap or whatever is comfortable. So holding your thumb helps transform worry to peace. And again, you can hold this position for a few moments or for a longer time, whatever is suited to you at the moment. If you find that you are stressed and tense, this will also help reduce tension. And I hold it until I relax, generally, or until I feel a rhythmic pulsation of energy. Sometimes people feel things, sometimes they don't. I know when I first experienced Jin Shin Jyutsu, I didn't sense any of this, and I still benefited and my health still improved. So to transform worry to peace, you hold your thumb. Next, your index finger. This helps with your fears. If you have fears about situations or other things, you can hold your index finger, and this will help transform fear to courage. So you'll have more courage to deal with the things in your life. Whether they be people or situations, you can experience more courage. The middle finger represents anger. And as it relates to anger and frustration, that is very common with stressful situations. We get very frustrated and stressed. So we can hold our middle finger, and this will help us transform anger and frustration to love. The fourth part of this tip is for your ring finger. That's associated with sadness and grief. We all have sadness and grief in our lives, and when we process it, it helps us to move on. If you're finding that difficult, you can hold your ring finger, and this will help release the sadness and allow space for joy. And then the last finger, the little finger, the pinky finger, is about efforting or pretense, trying to do things. If you find that you're trying to do things and not getting the results you want, hold your little finger for a few moments, and that will help transform effort to ease. And then the last bonus part of this tip is to hold the center of your palm. This helps harmonize our whole being, and it helps us come back to our center. If we're pulled in a million different directions, we can hold the center of our palm and return to our center. So when I'm doing this, I hold whatever finger calls to me. If I'm having a certain emotion, if I'm fearful, I'll hold my index finger. So you can hold a single finger, or you can choose to go through a complete cycle of holding all the fingers and palm on one hand and then the other hand. Or you can choose to hold each thumb and each of the fingers in turn. Each morning when I'm using this tip, I hold each position for 3 breaths. And then I move on to the next position. So that means that when I've gone through all 12 holds, I've completed 36 breaths, which is a full cycle in Jin Shin Jyutsu. So that is our 3rd tip. 2 more to go. We have tip 4. If you're feeling fatigued and worn out and just run down, you can use your sit bones under your bum and sit on your hands. This will help rejuvenate you. It will help revitalize you. Helps with circulation, and it helps to calm the nerves. So if you're sitting watching telly, or it's a late night and you have a little bit more to do, take a few moments out and just have a sit and breathe. So that's number 4. And number 5, the final one, is to give yourself a big hug. You just cross your arms and rest. When you're giving yourself a big hug, you are touching on the edge of your shoulder blades, which helps you with having a feeling of completeness and connection with the cosmic energy. If you can't reach your shoulder blade edge, that's okay, because these energy centers aren't a specific point, they're an area on the body. And your body knows how to heal itself. You have an innate knowledge of how to heal yourself once you become aware of it. Another benefit of giving yourself a big hug is if you have your thumbs up like this and you're touching your collarbones, that also helps you to adapt to things. And I know that when I'm in a stressful situation, I definitely have to adapt. So not only does this give me a feeling of completion, it also helps me to adapt. And again, you may want to do 36 breaths. And I was told that if you lose track, like you're at number 9 and then all of a sudden you can't remember where you were, just start again where you thought. You'll still be helping yourself. So that's 5 tips. And I want to thank you for sharing this time with me. It's wonderful to talk about Jin Shin Jyutsu and to share this amazing art. I'm conscious of time. We all have busy lives. So you can contact me for more information on my website or Facebook or by email. And you can also ring me. All the details are available on Facebook and the website. I'll leave you with one very profound quote from Mary Burmeister, the person who brought Jin Shin Jyutsu to America and the great wider world. So here we have Mary Burmeister's wisdom. The very urge to ask questions proves the existence of an answer waiting. So if you're like me and you have loads of questions about things, there are answers and you can find them. Thanks very much.